Hi, I'm Catherine Coleman, and for my Inventor presentation, I chose George Eastman. Now, who was George Eastman? He was born on July 12th in 1854 and died on March 14th, 1932, where he died of 77 years old. And he was born in Waterville, New York, but he essentially grew up in his entire life in Rochester from a young kid. They moved there, and that is also where he died. He has two older siblings. He is one of three. He did drop out of school at a young age of 14, where after that he did become a messenger and office boy for an insurance company. He then was inspired to study accounting at home for a higher salary, which then led him to become a bookkeeper at the Rochester Savings Bank. Family life. His mother, Mary, took in boarders to support the family, as his father, that he's named after, George Washington Eastman, who created the Eastman Commercial College, died when George was only 8 years old. And they need that extra money. So that is why George dropped out of school from a young age, started those jobs and wanting that higher salary to help provide for the family as the only son, and also why his mom took in those boarders. One of his older siblings, the middle child, was actually wheelchair bound from polio and passed away at the age of 16. So from a very young age, they went from a family of five to three, and he really stepped up. What did he invent? Eastman Dry Plate and Film Company. Then he went to create the Kodak camera, and then from there, the first Brownie camera for children. Why? At the age of 24, he was actually planning on going on a trip to the Caribbean, and he was very influenced from others and advised to take his camera equipment to document the trip. Well, the camera equipment was just so heavy and it was hard to pack and travel with, and he was like, I'm not going to go on my trip. I'm going to focus exactly on how to make this better and evolve and more compact. So that's why he decided to invent this. He used executive network, value, and mindfulness from our chapters while inventing these cameras. Executive network by not going to the Caribbean and focusing proof on the photography industry. Value for realizing the window of opportunity and demand for compact cameras. And also mindfulness for resigning from his job to commit to furthering his goal to make the photography industry evolve. The concept of the Kodak camera. Like everything, the camera needs its own name, which inspired the Kodak camera. And then he also later renamed the company Eastman Kodak. Eastman Kodak's slogan was "You press a button, we do the rest." That's because the camera was sent into the company after 100 exposures on the roll of film and was developed and sent back. So they created that good relationship with those that bought from them and allowed for Thomas Edison to create motion picture film, which drove success for Eastman's company. The Brownie camera in 1900s allowed for targeted children who aspire to be photographers at a young age, the opportunity for servicemen, and it also allowed to invent the unbreakable glass for masks and such, and then also a special camera for taking photos for planes in the First World War. His purpose and legacy: he never married and didn't have a family of his own, but loved collecting art and music, which sparked his interest in creating the Eastman School of Music. Thank you.